very positive parts for the future of the Latino community here in America. But I particularly want to thank my colleagues, including Linda Sanchez, who is the chair of the Latino Congress and Hispanic Caucus, and the members that are here with me today, Loretta Sanchez and Michelle Lujan Grisham and Pete Aguilar. They all played an active role in helping us come forward with this report. The Hispanic population, there are 55 million Hispanics in the U.S. today, 17%. But by 2060, they will be a third of the population of America. So there is a massive growth coming from the Hispanic community. And we have to remember that from day one, they have played a vital role in America. In fact, the first language to be spoken in the New World was Spanish. When Ponce de Leon landed in Florida back in the 1500s. So the Hispanic community has always been there as leaders in our great country. And as the data in this report by the Democratic staff of the Joint Economic Committee makes clear, Americans of Hispanic heritage make tremendous contributions to job creation and economic growth in America. Latinos, for instance, are 1.5 times more likely than the general population to become entrepreneurs. Businesses created by Latinos generate almost $500 billion in economic activity every year in this country. $500 billion. And the achievements of Latinos are in some ways even more impressive. According to an analysis by the Center for American Progress, Latina-owned businesses are the fastest growing segment of the women-owned business market and are starting up at 6 times the national average. That's amazing. Latina women-owned businesses are starting up 6 times faster than the national average. That is a lot of money being generated for our economy. But there is some bad news. In the United States today, a typical Latina woman only earns 88 cents to the dollar to a Latino male. And the same woman earns just 55 cents for every dollar earned by a non-Hispanic white man. So we have a lot of work to do in the gender gap category. But there's a lot of hope for the future for Hispanic communities. And it shows that the children of immigrants are making massive progress. We have just to look at our own delegation here at the famous Sanchez sisters who have risen to great leadership in our country. But we did find out that while only half of foreign-born Hispanics have high school degrees, 75% of U.S.-born Hispanics have graduated from high school. That's a startling increase of achievement for the children. 75% have graduated from high school. And while just over 10% of foreign-born Hispanics hold a bachelor's degree, 18% of U.S.-born Hispanics have a bachelor's degree. So this younger generation is making great strides with education, and with greater education comes greater hope for the future and greater pay. Because we now know that a college-educated head of household earns 2.2 times more income and have a net worth that is 4.1 times greater than those without a college education. But the Hispanic community is gaining those college educations and therefore the future pay that it will give them. But Latinos still lag significantly behind the white population in many very important indicators of economic well-being, including employment income and wealth accumulation. So as you can see in this chart, we have the chart up there, median household income, Asians are at the top, which actually I was surprised at, earning the most, then come white non-Hispanics, then all races, and finally Hispanics. And the median income of Latino households is just $42,000, around $18,000 less than the median income of non-Latino white households. So for this great goal of equality, we have a lot of work to do. And one of the things that feeds into that is that the typical Hispanic worker earns just 72% of what the typical non-Hispanic white worker earns. This results in a median net worth for Hispanic households that is just 1/10 that of non-Hispanic white households. And as a result, in Latino households, being twice as likely to live in poverty as non-Latino white households. Most disturbing to me of all is the fact that almost 30% of Latino children live in food insecure households. Here in one of the richest countries in the world, this is simply scandalous. And from our earliest days, the great seal of the United States that we see everywhere with the eagle holding on has been a promise, has a promise engraved on it, E pluribus unum, out of many one. And I think that it is a great and noble promise, and I think it's time for all of us to do more to help make it come true for all of the workers and the Latino and Latina workers here in America. It's now my pleasure to introduce the chair of the Hispanic Caucus, the great Linda Sanchez, who will introduce all the other participants today.
Great job. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be with you here this morning, and I want to begin by thanking my colleague Carolyn Maloney and the Joint Economic Committee for spearheading this report on the economic state of the Latino community in America. It's a really telling report, and I thank you so much for your leadership on generating this. Because while the report shows that we can make progress with policies that are more supportive of working